Hey there, hello there, it's Jeff Cutter Diamond welcoming you to Cutter's Degrassi Unpopular Opinions Top 30 out of 200. So anyway, I did 200 Unpopular Opinions / Hot Takes. It took me 2+ years to do, so I got to 200 and I've decided that enough is enough. 200 is good. If you watch one a week, that's almost 4 years. So anyway, I did 30 of the like I did unpopular opinions polls. I had 48 of them that were good unpopular opinions. Now the rules, of course, is that if there were a popular opinion or a hot take, technically I couldn't use it. So I had 48 of them, made them into 8 groups of 6, said that the top 3 from each group, and then 6 fourth place finishers would get into the top 30, and then I would do an honorable mentions list, which I already did. But the simple fact is that, with the 30, by randomization, by A1, B2, C3, or whatever, they were put into tough groups. And the winners of each group the 5 groups got to go to the 1 to 5. Second place went from 6 to 10. Third went to 11th to 15th poll. Fourth went to 16th to 20. Fifth place would be 21 to 25. And last place would be 26 to 30 automatically. So, of course, I did the prelude. I did the list. So, anyway, this video will be basically the opinions from number 21 to number 30 on the list. There will be 3 videos, 1 per week. So, week 1. Alright, so 26 people voted in the 26 to 30 poll. So these will be from 26 to 30. The winner of this group goes to number 26. The loser is number 30. There was a tie for 4th, aka number 29. So I will have everything. All right. So here we go. So of course here's the format. I will tell you the number based on my fingers, this is number 30. I will tell you the unpopular opinion and why I think it's an unpopular opinion. Now, not everyone in Reddit will agree with me, but this is why I made it an unpopular opinion. Okay, so here we go. Let's start. Number 30 on the list, with 4 votes and losing the tiebreak, in my mind, is Paige having Emma shunned by the school. From Degrassi Unpopular Opinion number 155. So, CDUO 155, and I will give you the date of the unpopular opinion. So, like roughly. So, anyway, yeah, I should have been more ready. But, this is just real life. This is just fantasy. Call it what you want. But, anyway, yeah. Alright, so number 155 was Paige having Emma shunned by the school. And that was from... That was from C-Dual number 155. So, yeah. So, here we go. So, just doing the stuff. My computer sometimes is slow. Alright, so the C-Dual 155, Paige having Emma shunned after Mercy Street, was from August 13th, 2022. So, almost a year ago. This happened. So, like 11 months ago at the time of taping, which is July the 14th. I've taped this. So anyway, this is number 30, which is C-Dual 155. Paige may have had Emma shunned after Mercy Street. And this is why it's an unpopular opinion. The reason why it's an unpopular opinion is because of the whole Paige involvement with Emma being shunned by the school. Now, of course, Emma had screwed up with Manny and Liberty by trying to prevent Liberty from being with Chris and all that. Unfortunately, though, that failed, and Emma went into Paige's friend group to try to find friends and to force Rick out. They used the Orange Ribbon campaign to try to get rid of Rick, which fails miserably, and Emma protects Rick from a beating from Alex and all them. And so Paige basically gets her group to ignore Emma. Now, the reason why this is huge is because Emma, after Mercy Street, the only friends she hung out with was the Quiz Bowl team of Toby, Rick, and Heather Sinclair. And then when Heather gets replaced by Jimmy, hangs up there. And it seems like nobody wants to talk to Emma and all of that. So there's a good chance that Emma may have been shunned by Paige. Paige was probably upset that Emma was being a hypocrite. So she basically spread rumors about Emma and all that. And of course, as the queen bee at the school, Paige had the gossipy powers. And maybe that's why Emma felt shunned, that nobody wanted to be around Emma and all that, especially leading up to Emma being shot. So yeah, so CDUO 155 from from August the 13th, 2022. Now, of course, I did the top 30 CDUOs from 2022, but this one didn't make it because it wasn't top 150. It was in number 155. So this was one of the newer ones. In fact, 4 of the 5 in the 26 to 30 poll actually were from 150 downwards. So yeah, it wasn't really new. All right. Okay, so number 29 on the list. Now, this is a 9. I'm trying to make a 9. So number 29 is Don't Believe the Hype Was So Underrated. CDUO number 186. So that was... Yeah, so CDUO number 186. Of course, in the description, I will have the actual playlist and all that. So CDUO number 186 was Don't Believe the Hype Was Underrated. So, yeah, so just making sure that my stats are there. So CDUO 186, Don't Believe the Hype, was done on February the 20th, 2023. So this is from February 20th. So this was about 5 months ago when I created this one. So Don't Believe the Hype Was So Underrated, number 186. And the reason why it's an unpopular opinion is because of the episode and how I think that, it was so underrated. Now, in season 2, Don't Believe the Hype was when Hazel and the rest of the grade 9s were doing International Day. Some kind of festival, dressing up in their native clothes. Paige wearing the Ukrainian low-cut dress and serving pierogies to Radich, who was wearing a kilt. Spitter, not knowing his whole story, like his parents wouldn't tell him and all that, so he tried to make food from different cultures, including China, because, his adopted sister Kendra. Snake wearing a Swedish t-shirt, because, Stefan Brogan was Swedish. But Hazel was huge, because Hazel got to be the first minor character to get a major storyline, a leading storyline, and the fact that Hazel had given a fashion ticket to Frieza, of all people, who was, I think, one of the best one episode characters of all time. Sorry, Chester, you weren't one episode. But anyhow, yeah, Frieza was huge. And all that from Iraq, and of course, the huge thing was that I said in the CDUO, I said, this was huge because this episode happened 15 months after 9/11 in December of 2002. It was huge because, the whole 9/11 anti-Muslim sentiment was still kicking in Hungary at the time. And, Frieza's Iraqi thing got terrorized. And Paige was Hazel was given Radish thought Hazel did it. Hazel was a suspect because of Hazel's insults towards Frieza and all that. And the fashion police thing. However, though, a couple of grade 10s got caught by the police. And Radish let Hazel go, but says words hurt and all that. Hazel decides to try to help Frieza with her project. And, Frieza, and tells Frieza that when Frieza said, you must be Somalian because Ardan is Somalian, Hazel's right. Hazel said, yeah, and then I got jumped by some girls. And then Frieza said, you learn from them. Hazel then goes to media class and tells everyone about her being Somalian, not Jamaican. Terry asked a question about hijab, and Hazel said, I do for prayers, but I don't have to wear it. I can be free to not have to worry about it. And, people will like it. Also, you got to realize that storyline, it brought, there were some reactions from different classes on different takes. And Kendra made a good take about, the fact that she's Chinese and her parents are white, they get along. So yeah, it brought up conversations in which a lot of people it should bring up a conversation. Not everything is hunky-dory. And of course, let's not forget the subplot in which JT is found to be a seamster, like a very good guy creating clothes, and Liberty tries to blackmail JT into making stuff for her. But unfortunately, they get caught. JT gets laughed at by Toby, Sean, and many boys. But the joke's on those guys because Manny, Emma, and many other girls want JT to make dresses and skirts for them. So basically, JT just shut the crap out of Toby and Sean. And this was huge. I know that the whole man doing good at sewing and all that and being emasculated and all that. That was kind of a thing. It's more acceptable nowadays, but back in 2002, not so much. So that's why I don't believe the hype was so underrated. Okay, so number 28 on the list. That's a snowball. Number 28 on the list with 5 votes was Jay being the number 1 living villain in Degrassi history from CDUO 124. So CDUO 124 was created a long time ago. It was created on, if I can get the numbers right. Come on. Thank you very much. This was created on February 21st, 2022. So, yeah, so more than a year ago. A year and 5 months ago. Was Jay being the number 1 living villain, number 124. Now, of course, when I put it in the Reddit poll, I had to say living villain because Rick, in everyone's mind, was the number 1 villain in Degrassi history. But Rick's dead. So, basically, Jay being the number 1 living villain in Degrassi. Now, a lot of people like Jay. I get it. I truly get it. But Jay, to me, pissed me right off. Especially him getting into other people's business and making them bad. He was the devil on everyone's shoulder, as people said. Season 3, he and his candy bandits managed to finagle Sean from being around Emma. Emma had to deal with Snake having leukemia and a new baby brother. And didn't have time for Sean. Sean said that, that sucks. Jay and his group love cars and all that, and Sean steals stuff to impress those candy bandits, and Emma's upset to call him pathetic. But yeah, Jay stole Sean away from Emma, and then bragged about stealing stuff from the school. And Emma tries to set up Sean to be hurt, but Raj couldn't find the stuff, so Sean couldn't be convicted. But Sean makes an insult about Raj. Raj overreacts by giving him detention for 8 weeks. Emma thinks she's done great, but Chris calls her out saying that this wasn't about Snake's laptop. This is all about trying to destroy Sean. And Emma is a bit of a bitch sometimes. I'll say that much. But the simple fact was that Jay, got Sean to believe everything. And let's not forget season 4. I mean, dude, everyone hated on Rick for many reasons. Paige and Spitter had good reason to. They were on that road trip when Terry got hurt by Rick by accident. Paige and Spitter both felt terrible that they should have protected Terry. And they both blamed each other for what happened and all that. Alex had some sympathy because, she had to deal with abusive men towards her her mother, and then the living women shelters. That I understand. I get it with Alex. But the simple fact is Jay had no connection to this. Zero. Zilch. Nada. All he wanted to do was try to be in a popular friend group and probably have the hard-on for Alex. Jay had no sympathy whatsoever to do with anything. He was a bitch. He had no sympathy, no remorse for his actions. Alex and Spitter did. Jay did not have any remorseful things. In fact, Jay said in season 5 towards Spitter, says that we did the world a favor by Rick dying. And Spitter basically beat the shit out of Jay and broke up with him in a sense, as a friend. Jay in season 5 popped up to try to help JT out with trying to help Liberty out and with a new baby. And tells JT, you're a pharmaceutical assistant, get some OxyContin. People will probably sell their own mothers to get this stuff. And so JT kind of does, but gets in trouble and is about to go to prison, he feels. So he overdoses at a party. But thankfully, Jay actually saves JT in a sense. He shows some sympathy, which was great. Season 6, Jay was a bad guy towards the Sean, Emma, Peter love triangle. Let's not forget, Jay was the one who wanted to set up this street race for Sean to get revenge on Peter. And he's the one who told Sean to leave the scene of the accident when he hit the pedestrian. And all that. They'll go easy on Peter, but they won't go easy on you. Are you nuts, Jay? Do you know how much trouble you can get into if Sean had basically blasted your hide and turned the tables on you? You're lucky. And then season 7, being with Manny for some strange reason. I mean, Jay was trying to fix things, but, you know, Manny was being bad too. I think Jay and Manny were decent. Like, Jay had no choice but to behave himself. Because he lost Alex, he lost Spitter, he lost everyone around him. So he had to change his mind. He's not the best redemption arc ever. I'm sorry. Jay is a living villain. Fight me on that. Okay. So number 27 on the list. Oops, I put that down. Number 27 with 6 votes was Emma's clingy phase from CDUO 150. When I did CDUO 150. Come on, hurry. Yeah, when I did CDUO 150, it was a 30-minute talking about Emma's clingy phase. And why is it an unpopular opinion? Well, if you know me very well, and doing Cutter Degrassi unpopular opinions through the 2+ years. And this is from July 9th, 2022, so it's a year and 5 days since I did CDUO 150. The fact of the matter is that I always say Emma's clingy phase was due to Rick. It's unpopular because of the fact that, you know, Emma's character went downhill after Rick had the gun in her face. And actually, there was one that made the top 30 that didn't really receive any votes, and that was Rick had the right to retaliate by the spray cans from CDUO 197. So, since that did so poorly, I decided to change it up and put the clingy phase in. But I clear up that it didn't have to win the 26 to 30 poll. I would have been happy if it was number 30. But it took second, so it's number 27. So I'm happy. I'm happy at all. I'm happy. I'll take it. I'll take what I can get. I know people are like, you did too many clean Emma videos. Yes, I did. I did 3 or 4. I admit. But CDUO 150 was the big one. It was due to Rick. Let's look at the simple fact that prior to the Rick storyline, Emma was this bossy, know-it-all, forceful, triggered person, controlling person in a sense, who didn't care what people thought. But by season 4, she decided to care what people thought of her. Are you nuts? Emma lost her friends because she was stupid towards Chris. And Emma deserved it. Emma went to Paige's group shunned her, and all that. I talked about that. But the fact of the matter is that Emma was with Rick, easy prey for Rick, and possibly Toby. But anyway, Emma was hit on by Rick. Rick creepily held her hand during time stand still and whispered, "This is for you." And, you know, tried to kiss Emma after the competition as Emma tried to calm Rick down. And Emma says, "I pitied you, get a clue." And then Rick's upset. Then Rick decides to be tricked by Jane Spinner, shoots Jimmy, and then conveniently finds Emma, Sean, and Toby, and wants Emma to pay for burning him. Sean and Toby try to calm him down. No can do. Rick says he shot somebody, so now he's got to go after Emma. Fortunately, though, Sean steps in and saves Emma from being shot. But you got to realize that even though Emma felt fine for a few episodes after that, Secret brought out the worst in Emma. Secret really did. You could tell Emma was not herself. She was withdrawn. She was melancholy. She wasn't herself. Spike and Snake can't understand. And then Emma decides to be coerced by Jay and go down the ravine, give him blowjobs, and then basically catch gonorrhea. I think there was proof that Emma caught gonorrhea and all that. But the simple fact was that, you know, after that, Emma was not herself. The major thing with the clingy phase, this is it. Now riddle me this. If Emma was not clingy after the Rick situation, why did she want to date Peter? The Emma from seasons 1 to early season 1 to 3.5. That Emma would never date someone as scummy as Peter. Yeah, she was with Sean and Chris, but they weren't scummy at all. Peter was very scummy, especially what happened to Manny. Like, Emma, before Rick had the gun at her head, would never have gone after Peter. She would desperately want to destroy Peter, and yeah, she wanted revenge porn for Peter to help Manny out, and then somehow she was wooed by his shirtless pictures and his living conditions. Emma felt guilty about Peter. Emma would never, if she was not in a clingy phase, she would never go after Peter. Never. She would never try to destroy Manny, hurt Manny by going out with Peter. Are you crazy? Yeah, Emma had some problems. But the fact of the matter is, Emma was a clingy girlfriend. She wanted a boy because she figured that a boy would have helped destroy Rick, and maybe Rick would not have had the chance to go after Emma with the gun. So that's why she wanted to hang out with guys. She hung on to Sean in season 6. Well, after Peter hurt Emma, conveniently. You know, Emma wasn't upset with Peter hurting Manny, but then when Peter hurts Emma, then she takes issue with it. I agree with the Reddit community on that. But the simple fact, excuse me, is that Emma's clingy phase hurt because she was with Sean and was upset when Sean left for the army. She wanted to grasp onto Sean. She almost faked a pregnancy for Sean to come back. And then when Sean didn't correspond with her, she was upset and went towards Damien. She was desperate for a guy. I mean, Damien was the Lakehurst student president when JT got stabbed. But the simple fact is that with Lakehurst and Degrassi having the merge, Emma wanted to be with a guy, with Damien. And Damien cheated on her with Liberty. Fortunately, Emma decided to cut Liberty a break. And then Emma was with Kelly. And Emma, her clinginess to Kelly was huge because she was bossy, manipulative, and refused to have Kelly eat a burger. Even one burger. She scolded him on that. Kelly will have to go back to the Yukon. Emma felt lost. She dropped out of school. She was chasing friends instead of grades because, you know, Manny and Liberty wanted to do their own thing. And that's the clinging friend phase. Emma wanted to cling on to Manny and Liberty as friends. The whole season 8 premiere was when Emma was upset that Liberty and Manny were being roommates, and Emma was left out, even though that Emma was supposed to be with Manny, and the school screwed up. Emma wanted to fix the situation so badly, and you know, everyone was upset that Emma just couldn't find someone. She needed Liberty and Manny, and I still think that Liberty and Manny couldn't wait to get rid of Emma, to break off from Emma in college because of Emma's clinginess and all that. And then, you know, Emma was chasing friends instead of grades. If that's not clinginess, I don't know what is. So fight me on that too. And the winner of the 26 to 30 poll, number 26, was Emma internalize. Oh, sorry. Do the number. Do the thing, Jeffrey. Number 26. Emma internalizing things was the character flaw we needed to know about. From CDUO 175. And CDUO 175 was created. CDUO 175 was created 8 months ago. So it was created October 22nd, 2022. Emma had a lot of character flaws. But internalizing things was the one that we needed to know about, to figure out. And this is not anything to do. If you look at the first episode, the first season of Degrassi Next Gen, Emma internalizing things was huge. The simple fact was that when she was upset that Liberty was being groomed by Armstrong, or supposedly groomed by Armstrong, if you will, Emma was worried. Emma thought that Armstrong was going to groom Liberty. So the fact of the matter is that, you know, when she got catfished by that guy in the first ever episode of Next Gen, she felt a little bit hurt that she got got. And was worried that Liberty was going to be victimized the same way as her. But Emma didn't really internalize it. She told Manny, and Manny says, I think it's nothing to worry about. But Hazel and Terry gossiped about it and made Liberty bad, and then Emma got blamed for everything. But Emma internalizing things was huge. the simple fact is that, you know, internalizing her struggles after the Rick situation. Like, it's spilled out in secret. Like, internalizing things. Like, Emma would never have gone to the ravine with Jay or did what she did. But Emma kept it in because Emma needed to take control of the situation. And because of the Rick situation, it was not something she couldn't internalize. She couldn't fix. So she, for some strange reason, decided to internalize everything. And that was just pathetic for Emma. Because Emma would never, like, it just hurt. And I think Emma never told anyone about the Rick situation hurting her in subsequent years and all that. She could have, and people might have listened to her. But the fact is, it didn't happen. And then, you know, season 5, internalizing the whole Peter thing was terrible. She had an eating disorder based off of it. The eating disorder was because Emma was trying to take control of a situation about that. And when Manny says, I should lose some weight for a role, Emma says, I will help you out. And so Emma helps Manny out. And, of course, Emma gets mad at Manny for eating or something like that, saying, you're breaking your diet. And Manny says, I've lost enough weight, Emma. But Emma was not convinced. She said, we could do this. And Manny's like, I'm scared. I'm not doing this anymore. I'm scared. You're taking control of this. And Emma decides to keep going with the eating thing, even though that Manny wasn't there. Yes, Emma had the problems with Snake and Spike temporarily breaking up and all that shit. But Emma's internalizing was huge. I mean, why does she want to be with Peter? Because she wants to be with a boy. Simple as that. But it's like, Peter hurt Manny. Maybe Emma was happy with Peter because then Emma could control Manny and say that if you go against me, then then I can kick you out of my house. Hard to believe, but yeah. And Emma blurts out at everyone, well, they had an intervention for her. But then she ends up having a panic attack and then goes to the hospital because of her eating disorder. But Emma, by her trying to take control about everything in her head and not say anything, may have been the one thing that we all wanted to care about. All right, so that's that. So the 21 to 25 poll is next. All right, so next up, number 25 on the list with... Number 25 is Emma, with Raditch having a gripe with Emma in season 4. This was CDUO 11. This was one of the earliest Degrassi Unpopular Opinions. Very early. So yeah, CDUO 11 was way back in the day. So yeah, this was one of the original, the massive original ones from 2021, if memory serves me right. So yeah, 2021, that's a big one. Raditch's gripe on Emma. This was from July 22nd, 2020. So just a week short of 3 years since I did this one. So yeah, so spoiler alert, from 21 to 25, 4 of the 5 actually were in the first 12 Unpopular Opinions, and the other one from number 123. So Raditch having a gripe with Emma in season 4. I know it was low. The reason why I say it was a unpopular opinion, in season 4 was because when he says to Emma in season 4 in Mercy Street, when Emma says, we don't want him at our school, that being Rick, Raditch says, this is not one of your stupid crusades. I'm warning you, stay out of this. This doesn't concern you. And I say that it's possible because of the whole season 2 clash of GMO foods, about GMO foods. So in season 2, in Fight for Your Right, Emma and Raditch go clashing. Emma makes a presentation about non-GMO foods should be banned. Non-GMO foods should be brought in the cafeteria, and GMO foods should be banned. Raditch says they do a good composition, but because of the fact that the budgeting sucks, we're lucky to have a cafeteria. I can't do anything about it. Sorry. And, he gives Emma props, but Emma takes it as an insult and passes out flyers. Raditch chases him away. Emma's about to wave the white flag. Then they do a cafeteria commercial, which gets Emma all triggered up. And Emma basically wants to take down Sheila and all that. Starts a food fight, accidentally. And then Raditch blames the food fight on Emma and her flyers. But how many people took her flyers? Not many. Emma's upset that Raj refuses to talk to her and says that I'm changing my campaign from GMO foods to free speech because Raj threatens to destroy Emma if Emma doesn't apologize for everything. Emma writes an apology, but then decides to deviate from it and says that I have a right to protest, and Raj is just threatening with suspension, and I'll take it. And Raj does suspend her. I think he wanted to make sure that the inmates didn't run the asylum. So practically, I think Raj was tired of Emma sticking her nose where it doesn't belong. I know a lot of people, a lot of fans of the show would say that, but yeah, Raj was terrible. And that was probably one of the main reasons why Emma did the Orange Ribbon campaign. Yes, Emma did the Orange Ribbon campaign because of friendship and all that, and that is a popular opinion, by my guess. And Emma may have wanted friends. Emma wanted to probably do domestic violence and make herself the crusader that she always is, and stick it to Raj, saying that this is not a stupid crusade and all that. And then, you know, when Raj looks at Emma with Orange Ribbon campaigns, he has a concerned look on his face. And Emma feels good. And I wonder if Snake figured that Raj had a grudge against Emma, because you know how Snake and Raj were clashing in season 4 and all that. But yeah, I feel like Raj and Emma had a great with Emma in season 4, and that cost Raj dearly. Alright, so number 24 on the list, excuse me, I gotta do the figures right. Number 24, with 4 votes in the poll, was Maya being with Miles in season 14 to alleviate her guilt. Now there is a similar one that is higher up on the list about season 14 in Maya. But the simple fact about Miles being with Maya in season 14 was huge. This was from July 22nd, 2020. So, wow, I must have put a lot of unpopular opinions up on July 22nd, 2020. Almost 3 years ago. Yeah. Maya being with Miles to alleviate her guilt. From CDUO number 8. So the simple fact is that Maya... Why is that unpopular? Well, I don't really know. And it's like the only reason why she wanted to be with Miles and help him out. Because Miles was having troubles with his dad in season 14, and Maya liked Miles in season 13, but Miles was with Zoe, so Maya broke up with Miles over that. But then Maya wanted to help Miles out, because it's like, in her mind, she figured that Miles was going to go down that steep hill that Cam was in season 12. And Maya needed to alleviate her guilt and make herself feel better about herself. Miles was not too appreciative. Her mom wasn't too appreciative of it. A police officer was not too appreciative. But, you know, I'll explain it more when I talk about Maya and season 14. Because that'll be in another video. But, yeah, she needed to alleviate her guilt. I mean, after all, the Cam situation ruined her. It wasn't all Maya's fault. Like, Cam had troubles talking to people about things. Sig may have been jealous of the love triangle and being a bitch to the whole situation. Now, Sig deserves some blame, but not all blame. But yeah, that's how I put it. Number 23 is a tie. Well, there's a tie for 22nd. So I'm going to go with number 23 is Rick's parents should have been mentioned post-shooting from CDUO 1, 2, 3. Okay, so 123. So let me get the information about that one. Number 123. Rick's parents should be mentioned. Yeah, so Rick's parents being mentioned. I'm going to make that number 23 instead of 22. And that was from... Okay, give me my information. Give me my info. Thank you. February 21st, 2022. So more than a year and 5 months ago. February 21st, 2022. Number 123 happened. So Rick's parents should have been mentioned post-shooting. Reason why is because of the whole situation with Rick's parents in the first place. Now, a lot was known about Rick, but what about Rick's parents? What do we know about Rick's parents? We know his mother kind of coddled him and was the glue that held the family together. His father was a traveling salesman. Rick laments that and all that. Rick's mom says that she tried to prevent Rick from going back to Degrassi, but it was Rick's decision. And we soon learned that, you know, Rick's mom was there trying to comfort Toby in the in Back in Black because, Rick told me he had to go to the visitation, and not too many Degrassi students probably wanted to go to the visitation because of Rick being a murderer and probably their own guilt. Or maybe a lot of people said, don't you dare go to that Rick's funeral because you'll be shunned. So it just leads me to wonder, was Raditch actually at Rick's funeral? Could he have gone to Rick's funeral and all that? Maybe he avoided Rick's funeral because Rick's parents would have asked questions and Raditch would probably have been too nervous to say anything. That's how I feel. But the fact is, Rick's parents should have been mentioned more post-shooting. Yes, we got the Back in Black thing, but what about Rick's parents? Like the repercussions of the fact that Rick's dad had a gun that Rick easily accessed, despite the fact that it was in a lockbox. Rick easily got to the gun. Why was it not sealed better? Rick's mom's reactions and all that. Was she blissfully ignorant about her son being bad and all that? I don't know what Rick's mom probably wanted answers from the school board and may have gotten a settlement, maybe have only got a few bucks because their son's a school shooter. No money for you. I just feel in a way that Rick's parents, we really want to know what happened to Rick's parents. What were the repercussions of the parents of a school shooter? I think the audience deserved to know, but we didn't. Pathetic. Anyway, number 22 on the list is Paige responsible for Ashley's downfall in season 2. This was from CDUO numero 2, number 12. Alright, so yeah, let's get the analytics on that one. Popular opinions, Ashley's downfall was Paige's fault. From July 22nd, 2020. I guess I did tons of unpopular opinions on that day. And I did put in the title description, edited on October 28th, 2021, I called Ashley black, and she wasn't. I thought Ashley was black. But then again, my TV probably tricked me into thinking Ashley was black. It would have been great. And then Ashley could have been just like Lucy from Degrassi High. But the simple fact is Paige was responsible for Ashley's downfall. Why is that an unpopular opinion? Because people thought Ashley's downfall in season 2 was just Ashley being moody and all that shit. Turning off. But it was all Paige's fault. I can't remember the episode, but the fact of the matter is Ashley was trying to get into Paige's friend group again after Ashley screwed up things in Jagged Little Pill season 1 finale, when she did ecstasy and all that. But she wanted to be back in Paige's group. She liked Paige's thing. She wanted to be with Sean, but Paige basically spread stuff about Ashley and made Ashley a downcast. The worst part about all this is near the end of the episode, Paige tells Hazel and Terry before picture day. She says, you have a choice. Either stay with me and be popular or stay with Ashley and become scum and shunned. Paige was going to throw Hazel and Terry under the bus just to be with Ashley. Paige was a dick. She was competing with Heather Sinclair to be the queen bee of Degrassi, but I don't think Heather was that much of a bitch to throw people under the bus like Paige did in season 2. And the simple fact is that Hazel and Terry basically decided to stay with Paige and live under Paige's shadow, which is kind of why Rick had a hatred for Paige, because he figured that Paige was forcing Terry to stay in her shadow. Fair enough. But yeah, Ashley was upset, turned off, be with Ellie and all that. Tried to get back in everyone's good books, but nothing else happened. Paige can be such a bitch. And I actually know people who thought that Paige being raped in season 2 was payback. No, that was not payback. Definitely not. And number 1 in the poll, and the finale to this video, number 21, with 12 votes, was Paige being with Oleander because of her issues with men in season 4. Why is that an unpopular opinion? Well, simply put, look at the men she had to deal with season 4. She had drama with 4 different guys in season 4. Paige, to me, had the most underrated season 4 ever. Season 4. Yes, about Jimmy and Emma and Raditch and all that, but Paige, that was underrated what she went through in season 4. First episode was when she got her answers and she got a rape trial with Dean. Oh yeah, Paige's rape thing was from CDUO number 2. It was actually the first one I uploaded. Yeah, CDUO number 2. It actually had a different it had a different title because of and a different pitch of Hunter Degrassi Unpopular Opinions. This was from June 2nd, 2020. This was 3 years and a month ago when I did this one. Because I figured Paige in season 4 was with Oleander because of her crap. So here's what season 4 brought for Paige. The whole Dean rape trial. And Dean getting off scot-free. Even Dean's lawyer was upset that Dean got off scot-free. But she had to defend Dean against Paige. Because Paige did some great testimony. But because of lack of evidence, and probably Paige not telling anyone about this situation, she was deemed no. Sorry, Paige, you lose. And then she had Spinner. The drama with Spinner. Paige and Spinner was supposed to be the it couple, but Spinner was upset. You know, Paige crashed Spinner's car into Dean's car for revenge. Spinner dangled that carrot in front of Paige and said he could do whatever he wanted. Paige would pay dearly for his car. Paige was taking a job in the movie theater to pay Spinner back. And Spinner was just being a D-I-C-K. Okay? But yeah, and he wanted to be with Manny too, because he said Manny was more fun than Paige. Paige was trying to pay Spinner back for the car. And then, you know, Paige had the troubles with Rick. Rick coming back to the school. She obviously was upset. I would be upset too. If Paige did that. Like, Paige had a lot of trauma towards her. The trauma was there for Paige. And then, of course, the Rick situation. Rick coming back into her life. She was not happy with Rick coming back so soon. And back at Degrassi without any troubles. Why? I don't know. And then, you know, the whole thing with Oleander. It was wrong. He was a student teacher. He wanted to be with Paige. That was a bad choice and all that. That was just pathetic. But the fact of the matter is that things were different and all that. So, logically, it just didn't work out for the best. So, anyhow, Paige being with Oleander. Paige probably wanted to be with a guy because of all the guys screwing her over. Even though Oleander and her, that was a bad relationship. And she defended this guy. Like, why would Paige defend Oleander? She was desperate. Oleander was living a bad life and Paige wanted to help him out. But he was a student teacher who misused her trust. And Paige just was upset about guys, and maybe that was a catalyst for her trying to get towards girls in season 5 with Alex. I'm not saying that turned her gay. I'm just saying that maybe she couldn't trust men. I mean, she was with Griffin in season 6 and all that. So she still had the guy thing. But that's just all I got. So anyway, thanks for watching this video. I know it took a long time, but I explained 10 unpopular opinions in detail. Next week, numbers 11 to 20. I'm Jeff Diamond.